All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this new week. It's a new week, a new moment, of course, a new episode of the Reality Kenya. My name is Simi Kenya. A lot has been happening. We've had a very busy weekend, and of course, we are here to break it down and give you the new mini-sodes and episodes of this great week and the Reality Kenya. Our guest, as usual, is the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno. Piki Ponki. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
How was the weekend?
The weekend was good. Tunagota. Tunagota tena. So we are still on. And Zakayo is being adamant. But you know one thing that you need to understand. You know we are students of history. And if you look at the behavior and the response of Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto, it reminds me of King Louis the Sixth, the Eighth, who was the king of France when the people were revolting. And King Louis' wife called Maria Antoinette, because the people saying that bread is too expensive, we cannot afford the bread, we cannot find the bread. And Maria Antoinette said, when she looked at the crowd, what's the problem? If the people cannot have bread, why can't they eat cake?
But cake is even more expensive than the bread.
That tells you how out of touch they were. So also where we are today, Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are very out of touch with the people. And that is what is leading us to what we are going through. We do have a feeling that that's the popular sentiment, that the government and the people in government and the members of parliament are no longer representing the common cause of the people. And the people have now taken back their sovereignty. The people are now sovereign. They are exercising their sovereignty directly, not through their democratically elected representatives. Because those representatives have abandoned them, are no longer representing them, are no longer pursuing the people's interests, no longer about the people's welfare. Hence the impasse that we are going through. And just like happened in the French Revolution in 1789, it is going to happen here. You cannot have a leadership that is so out of touch with the people and no longer represents their common will. And this impasse, in my view, can only be addressed when the people are given another chance on a ballot to donate their sovereign power back to a new set of leaders to lead them. And that new set of leaders are the ones who will have the goodwill of the people, and they'll have to understand what are the terms of engagement that the people expect of them. And those terms of engagement is that the people of Kenya want a leadership that respects their dignity, that leads them in true fidelity to the law and in pursuit of the common good of everybody, irrespective of their social class, their tribe, age, or generation. So even Gen Zs are not just fighting for Gen Zs. Gen Zs are fighting for the millennials, the Gen Xers, the baby boomers, and even the Gen Alpha that is coming next. So that is where we are. And we did witness William Ruto say something that was very quite unfortunate. And part of that is what led us to this problem. When he was on interview on TV, he did say that because of the withdrawal of the Finance Act, he will now borrow 1 trillion Kenya shillings. You know, in our laws, it's very clear. You only borrow money for development. For development, you identify, I want to do this project. I want to build this road. I want to build this bridge. And I'm going to borrow money from this lender. Is it China Exim? Is it ADB? Is it JICA? Whoever development partner you've identified, Bank of India, whichever company. Then you say, this is the amount of money I want to borrow from this particular lender to build this road. Then you go to Parliament. And then Parliament approves.
So the President takes this proposal to the
This
Parliament.
proposal is part of what goes to Parliament as the appropriations bills. Because the appropriations bills must capture both the revenue estimates and the expenditure estimates. Expenditure estimates including the recurrent expenditure and the development expenditure. So you've put there that we are building this road, it will cost this much. From our tax revenue, on the estimates, expenditure estimates, we are going to contribute 10%. And the remaining 90% for to building this road, we are going to borrow from China exit, for example.
Yeah.
Then that is what you take to Parliament, and Parliament approves. Now he stands up on TV and he says,
yes,
because you rejected finance bill, I'm going to borrow 1 trillion. I mean, that is why we are in this problem.
Yeah.
Because of this unbridled, arbitrary borrowing outside our laws. So when you say you are going to borrow for 1 trillion Kenya shillings,
because the finance bill was
rejected. To begin with, you had said the finance bill was meant to help you raise only additional 365 billion.
Yes.
Now, when did it get to 1 trillion?
Almost 3 times.
Almost 3 times what you hoped to raise from the finance bill. So where did it reach 1 trillion? And where did you even have public participation on this 1 trillion?
Yes.
And which are the projects that you want to use to fund using 1 trillion? And when did you go to Parliament to get that approval? Nothing. But that's what they keep doing every time. They go borrowing money in the name of the people of Kenya.
Yeah.
They commit us to pay obnoxious interest rates. And the money is eaten.
Yeah.
What the people of Kenya get is only the obligation to pay for that money.
Yeah.
So they keep coming to claw money from you. So you are in a debt cycle.
Yeah.
Never ending.
So Kenyans don't participate in borrowing, they only participate in paying.
In paying.
Yeah.
They don't participate in the borrowing. They don't see any project for which that money was borrowed. And they're only asked, now pay. Where the money went, they don't know. Whether even the money arrived in Kenya, they don't know. And that is why we are saying, going forward, the terms of engagements must be different.
Yeah.
When you are saying, I'm going to borrow 1 trillion, should be very clear. I'm borrowing 1 trillion to fund the following project. And I'm borrowing this 1 trillion from this lender.
Yeah.
And the terms of that loan are the following. This is how it will impact positively on the lives of the people of Kenya. Then you can go and borrow. Anything short of that is theft. In other words, to him, this crisis is just giving him an opportunity to go and steal 1 trillion.
Exactly. So
because
it's more of advantageous.
To him, he thinks that it's still the same, more of the same, that we can still continue on the same trajectory like we had before.
Yeah.
That you could just take advantage of every crisis to profit yourself.
Yeah.
It will not happen. And the current impasse is caused by our economy. And that economy is being strangled by debt.
Yeah.
Where 80% of our tax revenue is going towards paying debt.
Yeah.
Debt that we don't know when it was taken, why it was taken, which project it did fund. It was never approved by Parliament.
Yeah.
It is an odious debt. And the sooner we deal with the question of debt, the better. But for now, we are dealing with William Ruto.
Yeah.
He must go. Once he goes,
the
first assignment for the new team will be to open that debt book.
Yeah.
Tell us if this debt you're claiming we have, was it legitimately procured?
Yeah.
Was it used to fund a project? Which is that project?
Yeah.
And something also that we must remember, Kenya has never defaulted on the repayment of any of its debts to date. We've been paying our debts and interest as and when they fall due.
Yeah.
But what you end up seeing in our country is that the debt ceiling, the debt amount keeps going up.
It never reduces.
Never reduces, but you are paying every day. When Ruto was campaigning, he said that the debt was 7 trillion.
Yeah.
Now it's 11 trillion. How?
Additional almost 5
trillion.
4 or 5 trillion.
In less than two years.
Yeah.
You've gotten to 11 trillion. You claim you got it at 7 trillion. Now, in that period, there is no point we ever failed to pay.
Yeah.
When interests were due, they were paid. When principals were due, they were paid.
Yeah.
But how comes the payments are going up, being met, but the debt itself that you're paying for also keeps going up? It's never reducing. That is what we are saying, that our conmanship rests in the debt register.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, these people have taken it that Kenyans don't pay attention to the debt book.
True.
All this information is readed in plain sight.
Yeah.
It's presented right before you. But because Kenyans are well-meaning people. They trust whatever
they want peace.
They want peace.
Yes.
So they don't look
yes.
at the finer details. They don't do the math.
Yeah.
It is only logical that even if you had a loan, you'll ask the bank, wait a minute, I've been servicing my loan.
Yeah.
How comes the loan balance keeps going up?
It's going up.
And yet I've been paying on time as the loan becomes due. Or does it mean that as you are paying your loans, you go on another loan lending binge that is unstructured, not informed by your laws, not used for any development? You are only accumulating the obligation of the people to pay for that your loan. And because some of these people, they take these loans, the money doesn't even come to Kenya. The money stays somewhere in Europe, or the Americas, or the Cayman Islands. But the borrower is the Republic of Kenya, the people of Kenya. But somebody has taken the money, kept it somewhere in Dubai, kept it somewhere in Qatar, Cayman Islands. The money is not here. But it's the Kenyan people
who are now responsible,
to pay it. And how we pay it is now what you see in these finance bills. They come to raise your money the price of your fuel, they increase tax on your fuel. When you're working, they deduct you pay as you earn. VAT is increased in all consumables. Now everything is taxable.
So that they can get more money
They collect the money
to pay.
For you to pay the money they stole.
Yes.
You know, before they used to steal your money in the budget. They will come to the budget and say, okay, this is how much you have. They take it away. Now they don't do that. Now they go and steal your future. They go and borrow in your name, take the money outside there, go with it. Then you are seeing, oh, there's nothing happening here. But you'll be making contribution to a debt that you assume was taken for your benefit and on your behalf. So you're servicing it. Whereas that money never landed in Kenya. That money ended up in other people's pockets. You are told every year you see government floating domestic bonds and treasury bills. And people take up the bonds. That is borrowing. Which project can you tell me the domestic bonds and treasury bills are funding?
Nothing.
They are not doing it. They are not funding any project. But every month you see Kenya government exchequer issues. They are paying interest rates on domestic bonds. Again, your own money. And that money is not being used to your benefit. So we must call this bullshit for what it is. This is bullshit. This system cannot continue. This system must fall. The Kenyan people must reclaim their space. And it is important that the Gen Zs who are leading us in this fight, they should not relent. They must apply the pressure. And the beauty of this revolution is that the political class have been rendered irrelevant.
They've been put aside.
They've been put aside. The people of Kenya are doing it on their own. Without a leader, without a face. All of us are leaders of the revolution in our own right. So that even if you remove one person, the revolution will continue. Because the pain that is being felt by Kenyans is a pain that everybody in their own space is feeling. And everybody has come out to say, this is enough. So we cannot relent. We must keep applying the pressure until such a time that we recreate a society that provides an equal opportunity to everybody. And everybody is able to achieve their full potential just by being a Kenyan. Not because you know somebody in government. Not because
you come from a
particular region. We are now tribeless. We are now all Kenyans. And Kenya will come out of this stronger without Zakayo and his people.
But as we come to almost the end, the president during the joint interview said that there is a constitutional way of getting out, of removing a government and bringing in a new government, and that this one that is being orchestrated is not one of them. What do you think about that?
First and foremost, we are where we are because our laws were ignored by Parliament. Our laws were ignored by the president. It is important that Kenyans understand the hierarchy in this country. The only superior is God. After God are the people. After the people, they create a republic. That is Kenya. After they create a republic, they make a constitution. And that constitution, they establish offices and institutions. Then they also make laws. So the president is a president because the people made him president through the constitution. But always remember, the people are supreme. The people are even above the constitution. We got to this impasse because those who are serving in elected offices had ignored the people's voices. Now the same people who are the miscreants, who had violated our laws, cannot tell you that for you to create order, you must go back to our laws. No. We are now exercising direct sovereignty. The people are now claiming the space for themselves. And the people will decide to get out of this. How do we come up with a mechanism, a framework, to donate part back of our power, sovereignty, to a group to lead us? And you'll hear them telling you, no, we don't have an IEBC. IEBC, we cannot do elections. IEBC exists. It is funded every year. This year they are getting almost 4+ billion Kenya shillings. It exists up to the constituency level, even the wards. They are doing work every day on elections. IEBC is just finished conducting KTD elections in some parts of this country. They are still doing some this coming week. So are you telling me those elections were not conducted? They have been conducted. Nobody has said there are no commissioners in IEBC. IEBC just conducted LSK presidential council election just 2 months ago. Faith, the current president, was elected in those elections barely 2 months ago. So let no one gaslight you that we don't have IEBC, that we don't have commissioners. The infrastructure for conducting elections exists. And in this particular instance, we can still conduct elections and come up with a regime that respects the people of Kenya. That infrastructure for elections still exists. But even if it didn't, assuming it was not there, or the people of Kenya also equally decided we don't want this IEBC or these structures, nothing stops us in exercising our direct sovereignty from saying we will set up a transitional mechanism that will see us through this impasse into a new order through setting up a new elections body, which can be done. And this is the conversation that even Kenya Kwanza should be having. You know, for the first time, Kenya Kwanza will get to know why God gave them the name Kenya Kwanza. Kenya First. That is the name of that coalition. God is the one who gave them that name Kenya Kwanza. They didn't know. And they are going to be used as an example why Kenya must always come first. The country must come first. And everybody must put their selfish ambition, their interest, when the nation calls them. They are now being called to order by the nation, led by Gen Z and the millennials. They are being called to order. Can you now create a country or allow a country that accords to the dignity of man and the welfare of everybody in this society? Anything short of that, they are going to perish. Going, they will go, as I've always said. Going, they will go. The only point we should be asking is the terms of their departure. Are you going to make it protracted, or are you going to make it smooth and give the nation its rightful place, give the nation its honor? Because going, you are going. We are just now going through the terms of your departure. Once those terms are defined, you will go. It's protracted or it's a smooth exit.
But either way
you are going. It is for them to decide how they want to play it. And Kenya will be first. Not them. Not Ruto, not Ndi, not Murkomen, not Kindiki, not Koome, not Bungei. Then they will go. But Kenya will be the one.
Kenya Kwanza.
Kenya Kwanza. Kenya first. Kenyans will have a respect of their voice, and they will achieve it.
And as we wind up, you were at the demos last week, actually when people were going to the parliament, and during the joint interview still, the president said that the police did a very commendable job during that time, but instead we saw people losing their lives, we saw a lot of people being injured and mistreated. Actually, you were also where this first aid was taking place, and you saw some people dying right in front of you.
Yes, you know, I went to the demos first as a Kenyan. And I believe Article 37 gives every Kenyan the right to demonstrate. And the demonstrators were very peaceful. Until when they were attacked.
You were very peaceful.
all the demonstrators that I came across were very peaceful.
Yeah.
And they were merely carrying, most of them were carrying water bottles, phones, some were carrying flags.
Yeah.
And there are young people from across the divide. Rich, poor, educated, uneducated. And they're all in one unison.
Yeah.
Fighting for a better country for all of us.
Yeah.
It is the police that started attacking, and the attacks had been going on throughout the day.
Yeah.
Until the point to now when they even started shooting live bullets. And I can tell you, the second round of that on the street, I'm a lawyer. I may not be as agile as my Gen Zs.
Yeah.
The ones who call me vintage bad.
Yes.
But my contribution to the demonstrators
is
that I must also make sure that those who are arrested get legal representation.
True.
Pro bono.
Yeah.
And that I intervene with the police to make sure they respect the rights of those people they arrested.
Yeah.
So and I've been following up in police stations into the night just to make sure that those who are arrested, we try to get them out on free bond.
Yeah.
Those who go to court, we make sure that their lawyers will appear for them.
Yeah.
So I go to demonstrations on two fronts.
Yeah.
As a citizen who believes this country is going in the wrong direction, and I also go there as a lawyer to follow up on those who've shown the courage and the conviction to go and fight for a better Kenya.
Yeah.
Those young men you see there and women, they are not fighting for themselves.
Yeah.
They are fighting for all of us. Even that policeman with a water cannon, that policeman with a gun, with a baton, that young man you are seeing, the one you are beating, is fighting for you. Because when this country changes for the better of all, they will not say that we exclude the police. The benefit will be for everybody, through the universe of Kenya. It will not be that you are supported as Zakayo, we are excluding you.
So you will be buying bread in this place.
There will be a special shops for policemen.
Yeah.
No, it will be common to everybody. So I feel convicted that this fight is a deserved fight, and God is in it. So even those policemen who are being deployed, they need to have their own self-introspection and ask themselves this question. Why are these young men risking it all to be on the streets, even when they're being threatened with death? Why are they still coming out? What is it that they're fighting for? If they're fighting for the common good of all Kenyans, what is your contribution as a policeman to that young man's cause? Is your contribution to bludgeon him with a baton, to shoot him with a live bullet, to throw a tear gas canister at him, to waterboard him with the pain-inducing water? You see, you must ask yourself at the end of the day, you're not a robot. Even if they give you body armor, it doesn't turn you to be a robot. You're still a human being. At the end of the day, when night falls, you will put down that baton, you'll put down that gun, you'll remove those clothing, and you'll wear your civilian clothing and walk back into the community where that young man that you're shooting at lives. You are going to meet that widow. You are going to meet that brother who lost his brother. You'll meet that lady who lost his sister. Because those are the people you live with. There's no policeman who in the evening leaves work to go to State House or to go to Sugoi to live with William Ruto. And you must ask yourself these questions. You must ask yourself, why are our people out there? And what is your contribution? When all is said and done, will you be proud of what you did to these young people? Will you say that I did this for humanity? Was it necessary to kill that young man? Was it necessary to put a badge on him? Was it necessary to beat that young lady whose only crime was to fight for a better Kenya for herself and for you and your children? When you retire from the police force, will you be happy with the role that you played in causing the deaths, the injuries to our people? That is my only challenge to our policemen. Everybody will have to carry their burden, and everybody will have to account to their contribution when Kenyans were fighting for a better Kenya, regardless of your tribe, your age, your political affiliation, your social status, your level of education. We all have a responsibility to make our contribution. This fight is not a fight for Gen Z. this is a fight for Kenya as a whole. A Kenya that makes meaning to all Kenyans, irrespective of our professions, our age, and our social stature. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Maibu, and have a blessed week to every person who is out there. Let's keep spreading the gospel. Let's keep going big, because this is our country and we have to live a decent and a peaceful life so long as we are still here and alive together. Thank you so much. My name is Simi Kenya. May God bless you.